Welcome to the Inner Whisper, your sacred pause to return to yourself is Vane. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing, even if this week was not perfect. Over these days, we have been speaking about small rituals, about returning, about repeating simple gestures with kindness, about how that repetition slowly builds a kind of trust that is not mental but embodied. Today, I want to close this week by speaking to something essential: continuity as a deep way of not abandoning ourselves. I'm sure we have all lived this experience. You begin something with intention, with genuine desire, and at some point, you leave. Not because it doesn't matter to you, not because you're incapable, but because something becomes uncomfortable, confusing, heavy. And without realizing it, you disappear from what you started. If this has happened to you many times, a few times, recently, this whisper is for you. Today, I want to tell you something with great care. It's not about arriving anywhere. It's about continuing to stay present, about not abandoning yourself when the path becomes uncertain, not as a discipline, not as an obligation, but as a daily act of care, self-love, and honesty with your purpose, with your intention, with your project. Many people carry a quiet sense of inadequacy, an inner voice that says, I'm not consistent. I never finish anything. What's wrong with me? But I want to tell you something important. Pausing, resting, or changing direction does not make you insufficient. What hurts is not stopping. What hurts is not returning, leaving without awareness, disappearing without care. When this happens again and again, the body learns a silent message: I can't count on myself. Not as a punishment, as a learning. And this wound doesn't heal through willpower, but through sustained presence. Continuing doesn't mean doing everything. It doesn't mean doing it perfectly. It doesn't even mean finishing what you started exactly as you imagine it. Continuing means not leaving yourself alone in the process. Sometimes continuing means doing less. It could mean adjusting, or sometimes it's returning more slowly, or resuming in a different way, but always returning. Because every time you continue, even in a small way, the body receives a reparative message. Yes, I can count on myself. And here's something very important. You don't do this to feel better first. You feel better because you do it. Not because it fixes everything, but because it brings you back. I want to share with you now the three paths to practice continuity without harshness as a deep act of care. The first path: close in small ways. If something remains unfinished, don't force yourself to complete it, but do close it in a small way. a gesture, a minimal action, a conscious, okay, this is enough for today. That conscious closing tells the body, I didn't leave you. The second path, continue in a kind version. If you feel you can't do everything, choose the simplest version of continuing, not the ideal one, the possible one for you at that time. Continuing is not insisting, it's staying long enough not to disappear. The third path, returned with tenderness. If you left, if you paused, if you did not finish, don't reproach yourself. Don't over explain. Just returned. Every returned, even when you don't feel like it, repairs more than you can imagine. Now, let's bring all this into the body, not to understand it, but to feel it. Let's do our breath of light. If you can't, gently close your eyes. Allow your body to settle, to relax. Bring your attention to your breath. First breath, inhale deeply through the nose with the intention of feeling presence. I'm here. And exhale, releasing the pressure to do everything right. Second breath. Through your nose, inhale deeply with the intention of offering yourself support. I'm not alone. And exhale, letting go of judgment and urgency. Last breath through your nose. Inhale with the intention of continuing with yourself even slowly. And with a big sigh, silently affirm, I do not abandon myself. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Stay here for a moment, feeling what settles when you don't leave. There is a teaching that stays with me. Nothing leaves us until it teaches us what we need to learn. Sometimes what we need to learn is not to try harder, but to stay a little longer. Because it's not about arriving, it's about continuing to stay present, about not abandoning yourself when discomfort, doubt, or exhaustion appears. And in those moments, when you feel like leaving, dropping everything, disappearing, don't convince yourself of anything. Just repeat, one breath at a time. I'm not leaving. I breathe. I continue to stay present. This week was not about changing yourself. It was about returning, holding yourself, and continuing to stay present. And that, even if it doesn't show on the outside, changes everything inside. Not because you arrived, but because you continued. And sometimes that is all it takes to return. Thank you again for sharing this space with me. If this whisper resonated with you, return to it as many times as you want. Share it. Subscribe to my channel so we can keep walking together. Leave a comment, like, so it can reach more people. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Until then, love deeply, shine brightly, and embrace your journey. Ciao.